Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's weekly business update, live stream here on LinkedIn. I'm your host, Terence Mitchell, founder of Interdisciplinary Implementation, LLC, and the Neighborhood Level Indicators Corporation. As your LinkedIn advisor, top of the morning to you, and thank you for joining me. Today, we're diving into how data-driven communication evolves from communication to verified economic and regulatory proof. Our theme this week, from proof of use or proof of concept to proof of use, turning digital presence into trademark power. This show is designed to demonstrate how theory, method, and measurable action converge across both 041 electronic publishing and 038 video broadcasting, showing that communication itself can serve as a verifiable economic asset. Segment 1, 041 electronic publishing, building authority digitally. We begin with our 041 electronic publishing service and or our first newsletter, published on November 3rd, 2025. Now with over 50 subscribers in the first week. You can find it attached to my LinkedIn page. The title, Building Critical Mass Across Generations. Now in this evidence-based newsletter, exploring intergenerational leadership, workforce innovation, and data-driven collaboration at the local, national, and global level. Issue 1 introduced a framework that connects Gen Z, millennials, Gen X, and baby boomers through measurable, time-limited objectives, transforming local stories into national models for community growth and economic empowerment. It serves as a foundation for evidence-based communication, more than just a newsletter or a post. It is research to practice model. Let me say that again. It is a research to practice model that documents engagement as verified intellectual property. Drawing on Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory, we view publishing as an ecological act. Each publication interacts across multiple systems: the individual creator, the community audience, and the institutional regulators. Every article or report function as a data point within this system, reflecting not just information sharing, but measurable social interaction. When we track impressions, open rates, and subscriber data, we're generating quantifiable indicators of impact. These metrics serve as proof of use, a critical part of the U.S. trademark process under Class 041. Now, by framing publishing as structured evidence, we convert engagement into credibility and credibility into compliance. Segment 2, 038 video broadcasting, storytelling as structural data. Our second pillar, 038 video broadcast service, extends the same methodology through visual storytelling. Each live stream, short form video, and digital reply functions as broadcast artifact that documents audience interaction and participation. Here we apply Spencer's PVES, recognizing that community engagement in a broadcast environment reflects both lived experience and adaptive response. Every view, comment, and share captures a dynamic feedback loop between individuals and their sociocultural environments. This is not just communication. It's a form of developmental data, Video broadcasting under the Narrowcast Methodological Framework thus becomes a real-time laboratory where meaning making and measurable behavior intersect. In regulatory terms, it supplies the empirical foundation for our 038 trademark filing, demonstrating that broadcasting activity is continuous, public, and socially embedded. Segment 3, from research to regulation, connecting the dots. Now, if you've been following the Narrowcast Methodological Framework, today's update brings into focus how we move from research and regulatory structure to measurable community level reach. At its core, this framework draws from Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory, the idea that development and behavior are shaped by multiple interacting environments. Narrowcasting applies that same model to communication. Every post, broadcast, and digital form exist within overlapping systems, individuals, organizational, and societal. Now we apply Spencer's phenomenological variant ecological theories system, or I should say, phenomenological variant of ecological systems theory, PVEST, which shows how individuals make meaning through lived experience and adaptive coping. When you integrate QR code engagement and LinkedIn benchmark into that design, we're not just counting impressions. We're documenting adaptive response within communities. Finally, Tyson's epistemology of emancipation reminds us that knowledge creation isn't neutral, it's participatory. By embedding data-driven publishing and broadcast metrics into community feedback loops, we validate voices that traditional media often overlook. Together, these three theoretical anchors, Bronfenbrenner, Spencer, and Tyson, form the scaffolding for the Narrowcast Methodological Framework. It's where research meets regulation, and both converge into proof of use, measurable evidence that communication itself can serve as a trademark service, a verifiable economic asset, and a platform for inclusive participation. As we close, remember that every publication, every broadcast, every data point serves a dual purpose: advancing communication and documenting measurable process. Through the Narrowcast Methodological Framework, we're not just promoting or producing content, we're building a living, evidence-based archive of engagement that defines what community-level innovation looks like in real time. Thank you for joining us today. Tune in next week for the weekly business update. You can tune back in here for replays and updates. Now, next week's session, we'll continue exploring how interdisciplinary implementation translates vision into verified impact. Thank you for joining me.